Hi, my name is Emily Percival, and I will be a college freshman this year at St. Edward's University in Austin. This year, I traveled to Ireland for my Lions Youth Exchange trip. I stayed in Waterford City, which is a port city, for the first part of my trip. There, I went surfing, which was a great experience, but it was really cold. We did a lot of team building exercises like playing foot golf, which is like golf but with your feet and with giant soccer balls. We did obstacle courses and we rode horses, which was a really fun experience. And then after a week, we traveled down to Dublin, which is the capital. And there we toured the city every day. We hopped on and off the buses, and we saw these beautiful gardens that were focused on all the five senses. Every day was spent in each other's company, and it was wonderful getting to meet all these different people from all these different countries. I really want to thank the Lions Club for sending me again on this trip. It made me finish high school with a bang, and I really appreciate it. And I feel like I have a big leg up going into my college, having already been to 2 different countries thanks to my Lions Club. So thank you, Lions.
I'm Emily Agee, and I'm a senior at Wimberley High School. This summer, I went to Switzerland as part of the Lions Youth Exchange trip. And one of my favorite moments was with my second host family, who didn't speak a lot of English, so that was kind of problematic getting around that barrier. But honestly, we went to a lot of places, so it was easy to kind of get to know them just by looking at the scenery and just having similar reactions when we look at the mountains and the landscapes of Switzerland. So we were walking through this town called Interlaken in Switzerland, and we're just walking along the square, and all of a sudden we turn a corner, and it opens up into this enormous field where the mountains Jungfrau, which is a really famous mountain in Switzerland, is just completely visible, and the sun is setting over it, and people are parasailing through the field, and it was just one of the most breathtaking pictures I've ever seen. It looked like it was photoshopping before your eyes. It was amazing. When I was at my camp on the first week, we went on this scooter tour of a mountain. So we took a ski lift up a mountain for 10 minutes, which is the longest ski lift possible. And then we went on big scooters down the mountain. So it was really terrifying because the road wasn't paved, but of course I fell off the scooter, and everyone from 20 different countries came rushing to help me. And eventually everyone just walked down the mountain together instead of being on scooters. And it opened up into this big lake with mountains in the background. And we all just took naps on the ground in front of the mountains. And it's something you will never get to do again in your life. I learned a lot about how I'm independent on this trip and how I can do things by myself. And because through high school, you're kind of guided by your parents, and that's great. But it's kind of interesting to go out for a month by yourself where you don't know anyone. You don't have any connections. And it's just a time where you know that you're ready to be a part of the world. I cannot thank the Lions Club of Wimberley enough for sponsoring me to go on this trip. Honestly, I have memories that I will never forget, that I will probably talk about to my kids, to my grandkids. And there are no words to thank someone for that, but honestly, thank you so much. It was the best experience of my life.
Hi, my name is Hannah McQuistion. I graduated from Wimberley High School in the spring, and I'm leaving for Harvard in 3 days. And this summer, thanks to the Lions Club, I went to Mexico. For the majority of the trip, I was in central Mexico in a city called Guanajuato, which is where my first host family was. And then during the camp, it was a traveling camp like I got to do last year. So we went to Guanajuato, Querétaro, Aguascalientes, tons of places. And just kind of seeing the culture of every town, there are huge similarities. They all have these beautiful kind of Spanish age churches because, it was all happening at the same time. The night that stands out to me the most was my last night in Mexico at all. I was with my second host family, and I went out with my host sister to spend time with some of her cousins and their friends, and none of them spoke any English. So at that point, I had been in Mexico for 3 weeks, and I was getting pretty good at speaking Spanish, but that night something clicked, and I was having conversations, and I wasn't even hesitating to say these things in Spanish, and that feeling was so incredible. It's the whole reason I wanted to learn Spanish in the first place. At Wimberley Lions Club, I want to thank you so much again for the opportunity that you've given me and all of these other young people in our community. This program changes lives, changes people's perspectives, it broadens people's perspectives of the world, and that's something that is invaluable. So thank you so much.
I'm Caitlin Reams. I'm going to be a freshman at Blinn and Bryan campus this coming fall. And this past summer I went to Australia for a month. I had a roommate from Finland, and that was really fun. Her name is Daniela, and I didn't go to Australia expecting to make like a lifelong friend. And I definitely did in her. It was so fun being able to stay with her all month and then going to camp with her too. Morgan, Alana, who also goes to Wimberley, went to camp with me, and that was really fun. We had like reuniting, and we did all this stuff together we never thought we would do, let alone together. All the beaches, all of the, ocean rafting, tubing, water skiing. There's just tons of stuff I really didn't picture myself even doing when I knew I was going there, and I even had the itinerary, and I never thought it would be the way it ended up being. In fact, I didn't know how badly I wanted to hold a koala until it was actually in my arms. And I realized that had been on my bucket list all my life, and I had no idea. There was just so many little moments like that that really made it worth the long flight, and just really impacted my life. And I'm so grateful for that, and I really appreciate everything the Lions has done for me.
Hi, my name is Morgan Alana, and I'm going into my senior year at Wimberley High School, and I spent the month of July in Australia. I spent basically every day at the beach, and it was amazing. It was basically being on vacation for a whole month. I went snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef, and probably my highlight of the trip was holding a koala. My host family lived in a city called Townsville. It's not too big, but not too small. They were very nice people, and they're actually not that different from Texans. I found Australians to be pretty similar to us. My favorite part of the trip was probably when I went with the camp to the Whitsundays, which are these beautiful islands located off the coast of Australia, and they're known for having a beach with one of the widest sands in the world. I'd like to thank the Lions Club for this amazing opportunity. I never thought I'd be able to spend a month in another country, and I would just like to thank them for giving me this opportunity.
Hi, my name is Matthew Hartman, and this fall I'll be starting as a freshman at Texas State University. I stayed in the Ibaraki and Gunma prefectures of Japan. While I was in Japan, I was studying Japanese mentality, their culture, their economy, and overall the tech integration that they had in their lives. The Emperor of Japan had made his sort of retirement speech at that time, which is the first time that had ever happened in history. And so I had the privilege to watch this live with the family, and it kind of seemed like time just slowed down. To the Lions Club and to my two wonderful host families, あなたの意に私の迎えてくれてありがとう。あなたの優しさは感動的でした。またね。ありがとうございます。So that translates into thank you so much for welcoming me into your home. Your kindness was inspiring. See you later. I thank the Lions members here in Wimberley and in Japan for such an unforgettable and memorable experience.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Green-Tooney. I am going to ACC in the fall, and I went and stayed in Tatsubayashi and Gunma Prefecture in Japan. My favorite parts about this trip, all the nature-oriented gardens and the people, how they were so close to everyone and everything in nature. We went and stayed in mountains, and we went to onsens, and for the camp part we went to stayed on a Kagi mountain, and we did morning exercises with all the Japanese kids. We went for a morning walk before anyone was up, and we came and we sat there and had like a picnic and all kind of cried together of really enjoying this experience. Minasan konbanwa, hajimenashite. Watashi wa totemo shiawase na kimoshi ni narimashita. Omanaki itadakimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Hello everyone, it was nice to meet you. The nature was absolutely beautiful in Japan. I was very happy to be there and meet everyone. Thank you very much. I am very thankful for the Lions, for everything they have done. I've met so many great Lions across here and Japan now, and we have communication, and so I will always be in touch with them, and they're a great part of my life now. I really appreciate this opportunity and greatly, greatly will always remember how amazing this trip was. So thank you very much.